In January, we did my annual 31 Days to a More Effective Compliance program where we looked at one thing you could do each day. Well, we're back with the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is the podcast where we bring you daily insights and practical advice on navigating the ever-evolving landscape of compliance requirements. Whether you're a seasoned compliance professional or just starting your journey, my aim in this podcast is to provide you with a bite-sized, actionable tip to help you stay on top of your compliance game. In the chaotic world of 2025 and beyond, compliance will become even more important, and you staying on top of your game will help your company move forward. Today on the Compliance Tip of the Day, we begin a week of tips on leadership, both for individuals, for compliance teams, and for leading compliance inside of a corporation. We continue our look at leadership by exploring and clarifying compliance mandates. The cornerstone of your compliance success lies in deeply understanding your mandates, explicit or implicit, handed down by your stakeholders. Internal stakeholders, such as your board of directors, senior executives, various groups of employees, set mandates reflecting the organization's culture, risk appetite, and strategic direction. Meanwhile, external stakeholders, such as regulators, investors, customers, suppliers, and advocacy groups, shape mandates by articulating compliance expectations clearly through regulations, industry standards, or advocacy initiatives. Begin by identifying your key stakeholders. Who holds the power to influence your compliance activities and who stands directly affected by those outcomes? Then consider whether you've fully captured their expectations and priorities. It is critical to discern the minimum thresholds for compliance performance as well as their maximum aspirations. Experience indicates compliance leaders often avoid ambiguous targets due to apprehension about political opposition within your corporation. But to drive truly meaningful change, compliance leaders must embrace ambitious goals and manage expectations thoroughly. This may involve disappointing your people at a rate they can absorb, and unfortunately, that's an impact of leadership. So how do you prepare for all of this, or rather, who is supporting your compliance efforts? Compliance leaders need strong, proactive support teams, assistants, or chiefs of staff who prioritize your time, anticipate compliance demands, and help sustain your professional effectiveness. Periodic changes to these roles can break ineffective patterns and optimize your ability to manage compliance responsibilities sustainably and productively as well. Compliance success hinges significantly on understanding your mandates thoroughly and preparing meticulous key conversations, simplifying priorities strategically, and leveraging your unique strengths. So what are today's 3 key takeaways? Well, as I just indicated, prepare meticulously for key conversations, simplify priorities strategically, and leverage your own unique strengths. If you use these strategies, you should be able to answer and indeed move the corporation forward in any risk management strategy and integrate compliance more directly into the business operations. I hope you'll join me tomorrow where we continue our series on leadership. For compliance to be literally run at a proactive basis rather than reactive. What are today's 3 key takeaways? Well, I think we have to start with a proactive. Because if you can run your compliance functions proactively, you can literally stop something from violating before it happens. 2 is you have a documented audit trail if a regulator ever comes knocking. And number 3, most importantly, the business value. You have seamlessly integrated compliance into your overall business process. So the employee base does not even know they're doing compliance. It's being done while they're engaging in their regular business operations. This episode, and you'll join me again tomorrow on the Compliance Tip of the Day. This is Tom Fox again. This new podcast, Compliance Tip of the Day, will appear daily. And frankly, it's one of the most requested topics for a podcast that I get on a regular basis. It's going to be short and sweet with one tip with some takeaways that you can utilize to implement into your compliance program. If you've got a question that you would like a tip on, please submit them through our website, and we will use them in an upcoming episode. The compliance tip of the day is a production of the award-winning Compliance Podcast Network. Finally, this podcast contains promotional materials.